Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Sunday, September 1st, 2024. I don't care what the weather is doing anywhere in the world. As far as I'm concerned, this is absolutely the beginning of fall. My altar's changed over. I'm getting everything else in the house in order, and we are just going to start setting the weather a good example until it does what we want it to do. But anyway, on this day of the god is the sun's day. It is Suna's day. It is the 11th of Virgo, the 28th of Hazel, the 11th of Bear, the 4th of Turimunder. In our astrology, the sun is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing industry. The moon is fourth quarter Leo, fixed fire, which means central ideas. At 7:25 p.m. Central Time, it does go void, of course, and then at 10:48 Central Time, it moves into fourth quarter Virgo, which is a mutable earth sign, and it means to accomplish details. Mercury is in Leo, fixed fire, representing ideals. Venus is in Libra, cardinal air, representing harmony. Mars is in Gemini, mutable air, which is to be pugnacious. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. And Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing renovation. At 10:18 a.m. Central Time, Uranus goes retrograde with all of the other retrograding planets. It'll be retrograding in Taurus, again, fixed earth sign, and then it will be representing rebellion, not renovation, but rebellion. And it will remain in retrograde until January 30th, 2025 at 10:22 a.m. Central Time. So brace for impact, dears. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, representing spiritual awakenings. Pluto is retrograding in Aquarius, fixed air, which is to examine intentions. And then at 7:10 p.m. Central Time, it's going to fall back into Capricorn, a cardinal earth sign. And then the Pluto retrograde will represent the process of transformation. So we've got some interesting things going on. Now, a few more details on the Uranus retrograde. Again, it starts today, September 1st, 2024 at 10:18 a.m. And again, it ends at January 30th, 2025 at 10:22 a.m. Central Time. For Uranus, the planets in general represents innovation, revolution, change, independence, creativity. And then when it goes retrograde, think rebellion, unwanted wake-up calls, heightened eccentricity, the need for adaptation, adventure even, but perhaps adventures that are a bit more unnerving than what we would have preferred. Some of the do's are try new things, embrace change, enjoy your individuality. And the don'ts are don't be ruled by fear, don't avoid calculated risks, and don't deny yourself the beginning of a new chapter. And in 2024 specifically, some of the watchwords for the retrograde are rethink identity and belonging. And also, I hunted us up a Uranus in retrograde tarot spread. Comes to us from the Queen of Crystals. The first card in there asks the question of what positive changes will I see in this retrograde? Then the second card, in what area can I challenge more confidence into my life? And then the third kind of off kilter card. It says, what plot twist or shakeup can I expect? And then the fourth card is, how will this retrograde affect my personal relationships? And then the fifth and final card, what can I focus on during this retrograde? So I'm going to try to find us as many helpful hints and tips to survive this particular retrograde season, because there's a lot of movement going on. There's a lot of interesting energies that are starting to collide and interact with one another. And that's against the backdrop of all of our current events, with everyone's hopes and everyone's fears and everyone's agendas all on the table, getting a great big shakeup. So use your skills as much as what you humanly can, and so that all of this isn't more disruptive to you than what it has to be. Now, again, for the retrogrades, we have our reminders. For Saturn, it's reclaim your authority. For Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. Not reconsider your rebellion, but consider how you actually go about enacting that rebellion. For Neptune, reclaim your magic. Pluto, reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, restore your heroic spirit. Now, I want to pause right here and let's just look at all of these together. Claiming your authority, reconsidering your tactics, claiming your magic, claiming regeneration, and reclaiming heroism. What does that tell you? All of these things put together. It certainly seems as though we are entering a period of time in which people developing their backbones and embracing their sense of duty and getting on with what needs to be done and exercising their personal agency rather than waiting for someone else to come and rescue them. That appears to be what is on the menu, at least as far as what I'm looking at it. Of course, I would love to hear your own impressions of this in the comments. Now, moving on, the moon phase is a waning crescent, and that keyword for that is rest. We have a Virgo moon. The do's are focus, edit, tidy, and the don'ts are job interviews, critical people, and a spirit of perfectionism. Now, the Virgo sun is going to come into harmony with the Virgo moon late tonight. So, if you feel a sudden burst of energy to clean out a closet, write a novel, or sort out universal field theory, you can give the credit to that double whammy of Virgo energy really coming your way and working its will upon you. And by the way, Virgos are notorious for not leaving one alone until the goal is accomplished. So, even though you might not have actual Virgos coming your way, you are having a lot of Virgo energy infiltrating your system. And sometimes it is easier to go with their flow rather than fight against it, especially if it is about accomplishing something that is ultimately important to you. Today's tarot, it comes from the Shadowscapes Tarot. That's the deck we'll be using all month. It was made by Stephanie Poyman Law and Barbara Moore. Today we have the Page of Pentacles. Now, Page, think apprentice. And the suit of Pentacles represents the rational feminine, receptive energy, earth element, material actions. And the key phrases for this particular card are opportunity for prosperity, harbinger of potential, and good scholarship. So all of it is about taking a considered approach to what it is that we are doing. We're not going in without doing our research. We're not, cowering in the corner, letting opportunities pass us by, but we are going to reflect. We are going to have the opportunity to look at the details before we actually leap into action. So that's some good energy to take into this day. And it's very appropriate, with the Virgo sun and with the Virgo moon later tonight. Today's Celtic Triad reads 3 things pleasant to one at their dinner: a sharp-edged knife, a sharp-pointed skewer, and a clean plate. So a well-set table, that makes any a meal progress more smoothly, and implements that are fit for purpose are an absolute must. It's not going to do people any good if you put flatware in front of them that isn't really up to the job, or if it isn't clean the way it should be, because cleanliness is of paramount importance. I mean, you're talking about food and drinks that we put inside of our bodies. If it isn't clean, if it isn't what it ought to be, we get ill, and that's unpleasant as well as damaging to our bodies. So cleanliness, that is something that perhaps especially during this Virgo season, we should put a bit more emphasis upon. And the simple act of laying a table properly, I think that really is a small act of love, because people come in, they look at the table, everything is nice, pretty. It doesn't have to be over the top or ostentatious or anything like that. It's just the plates are where they're supposed to be. You have your napkin handy, you have your proper flatware you need for the meal, you have your glass for your beverage, and everything is just right. It makes a family feel secure and cared for, and it doesn't take that much time. And honestly, if you have children and they are of an age to where you're not worried about them handling random glasses, um, there's no reason why this couldn't become one of their daily chores. And to make use of your children, they need to learn how to human, and sitting down at the dinner table and learning how things are properly set, that is a part of learning to human and being a reasonable human being in society. Now, today's correspondences are centered on the theme of consecration. The color is gold, the plant is cypress, the animal is the canary, and the crystal is salt. Always remember that you actually do have the power to bless your surroundings, particularly if you practice the craft. You don't need anyone's outside authorization. You don't need someone else who you perceive as being bigger, better, more powerful, or more knowledgeable to come in and do the job for you. You can take care of this yourself. And it's very confidence building when you do so. So something to think about. Now for today's practice, what masculine god most embodies the spirit of autumn to you? I hunted up this picture of Lou in autumn. I found it on Pinterest, of course, and everything about it is just exuding that autumnal feeling. The leaves are changing, the light is there, but it's starting to fade. You're the shadows are creeping in, and everything about it just really spoke to me. So what God fits the bill for you? Then compare your sun sign with the sun's current position in Virgo. Are those compatible energies, or are you at odds with the prevailing environment? Check in on your root chakra. How is it responding to the autumnal energies? Uh, think about the Hermetic principle, mentalism and awesome. How do we find mentalism in action? That's really where I would encourage you to focus upon, because all things do begin with thought, and the whole protus of autumn is really the result of thought. But what new thoughts are coming into being, and how are they starting to manifest? And then for the witch's pyramid, considering the foundation of your pyramid in autumn. What time of year did you get your start? When do you feel you're most confident and secure? What is the state of your knowledge? Is there something about this season that it can teach you to expand your foundation or make it more sturdy and secure? Just there's a lot of different ways you can take it. So have fun. And then for today's journal prompt, what are you welcoming in this season? There's a lot of things that we're shooing away at this time of year. I mean, we are starting to get to the point where the veil is thinning, and we have, creepy crawlies and oogie boogies and all sorts coming out of the shadows. And not all of them are particularly friendly, and not all of them can really be placated. So we do a lot of focus upon, cleansings and banishings and home protections and all that, which we should. But there's also the question of what are we leaving the door open for? So that's something to carry with you today. And I hope you have a very magical day today. If you're interested, you can follow me on X at Blackbird's Brew. On YouTube and Rumble, the channel is called Blackbird Grimoire. The Oak and Elder Witchery is live. It is on Gilded. The link is in the description box. You're very welcome there. And of course, if you want to reach out to me a bit more privately, you can always email me at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com. But I think that will do it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the very first day of fall. I don't care about those people say it doesn't count until you're past the equinox. That's the first day of fall. Killjoys, that's what they are. September 1st, it's good enough. It is fall. I don't care what the weather is doing. Bend that weather to your will. Show with your decor what it ought to be doing. And let's start dreaming some things into existence, not the least of which is a pleasant season to come. But that's where I'll leave things with you today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.